What's happening, folks? This is the DFS 5-pack starring Matthew Bellman and Ryan Kostrowski, your hostess with the mostest. We are ready to break down the Monday Night Football game forward. We're going to talk DraftKings Showdown information. If you can, slide one of those fingers or thumbs right over to the like button. Let's get to it, my man.
Let's get it, man. Really good game to watch, if nothing else.
Yes. This is definitely a game I like better from like a real life perspective than from a DFS perspective. No doubt about it.
The same.
Not like last night where it was going to be good for both.
For sizzle.
All right. So before we get into the actual plays, guys, I just want to reiterate a couple of the sweet deals that we are offering to people right now. I'll start by saying neither of them is currently up on the website, but there's a Venmo address below and a PayPal address below. You can use either one of these to make these payments and get all set up. We've mentioned this repeatedly over the past week or two. The NBA package for when the NBA starts in a month is half price right now. We got a couple spots left. We're taking 15 total customers at half price. We got a couple spots left. Send the $60 to PayPal or Venmo. You got one of those couple spots that's left. And the NFL package, I don't have the website adjusted yet, but for the rest of the season and playoffs, only $49. If you want either of those, we'd love to have you guys join the 5-pack family. We're back, on the winning side of things. Yesterday had some good days. Seeing, a bunch of customers having some luck in both cash games and GPPs. Cash game record on the year around 8-3. So we're here to do our best to help you guys win on a weekly basis. Then the other thing, get your money in on an overlay. If you want to bet on some other sites and you're looking for something that might be a little bit easier to set it and forget it, overlay is the way to go. The name of the website is overlaydfs.com. The matchup shop continues to gain steam on a weekly basis. I did not do a good job on myself there yesterday, but looking to get that back tonight.
Yeah, man. And we got NBA starting soon. So,
Woo!
Yeah, it's coming.
NBA can't get here soon enough. I'm getting lonely on these weeknights sitting at home. So bring me my sports, bring me my NBA. I cannot wait for it. I'm excited to talk overlay when the matchup shop drops these NBA matchups, just like we did at the end of last year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, subscribe to the station. Thumbs up is appreciated. So usually our first pick is reserved for like a quarterback or like an obvious running back. We don't have that one today in my mind. So let's talk about Leonard Fournette, who just based on like the little like just social media blurbs I'm getting and like people reaching out to me to ask me questions, I think Fournette's going to be super popular tonight.
Yeah, I mean, saw it last night with Le'Veon Bell, even cheaper. But Fournette, he's been involved all season since he's been with Tampa. Just a lot to like about him at this price point. We don't say it too much in football because it's just a different type of game. But he is a cog in the machine at 4,400. He's the cheapest skill position guy who's definitely going to see touches. He makes a lot of sense in all formats.
Then he also he's not impressive to me running the football this year, but Tom Brady likes him. And there's room for growth here. And what I mean by that is Ronald Jones, I think, is the better runner of the football. But dude keeps fumbling and dropping balls. We talked about this one at length on the members only video. We were almost surprised Rojo got as much run as he did last week after he fumbled early again. But that was against inferior competition. They wanted to make sure they still had his confidence against the Rams tonight. If Jones messes up like he has 3 or 4 times already this year, expect Fournette to get a real nice, healthy workload in this situation.
Couldn't agree more.
Also, if the Rams get up, then it's all Fournette. So there is definite room for upside.
Definite room for upside here. I mean, we talked about it on our members only video, and if you want to hear more about that, sign on up.
Next up, let's talk about the coolest guy to ever walk the face of the earth. That's Rob Gronkowski, one of everybody's favorite players. So Gronk has a touchdown in every game that the Buccaneers have scored a touchdown over the past 5, which is 4 or 5, right? They had that game against the Saints where nobody played well. Erase it from our memory. Is not relevant for tonight's game necessarily. Gronk has been a red zone focal point. He's a huge target down there. He's a mismatch size-wise on whatever you try to do with him. He's less expensive than the wide receivers. And very importantly, the Rams are the best team in the league at holding down wide receivers from a fantasy perspective.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Again, another cog type in all formats. There's a lot of good skill position players in this game. Gronk is another one that's very affordable. He gets red zone looks. He just makes sense. We're both fans. Just a lot to like about him here, again, in all formats.
Next up, Rams defense. So we want to flip the script a little bit and talk about things from a more of like a GPP type of angle and take a look at the Rams defense. So again, preferable in GPPs. I don't think they're out of playing cash games, but as a guy who focuses on cash games for showdowns especially, I'm not like running to the Rams as like a must play. However, there's a couple things to like about them. One, this Aaron Donald dude, you all know who he is. I mean, he's legit, man. He's one of the best defensive players in the league, if not the best defensive player in the league. They also have the best cover corner in the league.
I've heard, O linemen talk about that Aaron Donald's going to go down as the best defensive lineman of all time.
I mean, he's amazing. There's no questions about that. He is really, really, really good. So this defense is, I don't know who the best defense in the league is. Pittsburgh's had some injuries. They're still really good. They could be it. But like the Rams are right there. And this is exactly what the Rams do well, is the one thing that you can do to frustrate Tom Brady. Tom Brady is not perfect. He's a human being like every other human being that's walked the face of the earth. Like most really, really good quarterbacks, he can be contained if you can rush the passer with 4, drop 7. You got those elite cornerbacks out there. I mean, I could definitely see Tampa Bay struggle tonight. And I think most people, because Tampa's got Tom Brady and they're the home team, feel better about the Buccaneers right here. And I get that. That's why this is a GPP play.
Yeah, it's definitely a GPP play, but they're going to be much lower owned than the Bucs. They're very good. If this game were in LA, I almost feel like it would be flopped. Like the Rams would be more popular. So we care about, home. We care about home field advantage and the team that's at home, but not enough to flip flop them completely like that. I'm with you. We agree on this. Like in an optimal line, they're not going to be in it, but we've seen a lot of crazy stuff happen this season. It happens every season. It happens every week. It's not even that crazy to think that, the Rams D plays really well. The Rams O plays really well, but specifically their defense against the guy you mentioned in Tom Brady that is one of, if not the best quarterback of all time, but struggles when he gets pressure in his face.
Yeah, and you got Aaron Donald coming right up the middle.
A lot of tournament upside here. So like their median projection probably isn't that good, but a lot of tournament upside if the game plays out in their favor where Tom Brady has to drop back a ton.
Yeah, they get after the quarterback as much as anybody. And another thing, me and you, we're still stuck in that we prefer the home team. But like that hasn't been a thing this year without crowds, right? Like road teams are winning all the time. So still, I'm with you on your point that if the game was the Rams or the home team, it'd be a lot easier to bet on them. But it doesn't make as big of a difference so far this season.
Agreed completely.
So, the ownership will reflect it. The winners of these games this year haven't reflected it nearly as much. So I like the idea. Speaking of GPP plays from the Rams, we all know this, right? All those DFS players, like you just don't flat out attack the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with running backs. So especially a team, the first thing you brought up to me this morning was there's no clear pecking orders on this team. Well, the Rams backfield, there's no real clear pecking order. It seems to be Henderson, Brown, Akers, but on any given week, we feel like they could switch that around. The Rams could very likely have to be pass heavy tonight because of the inability to run the Bucs. Well, Malcolm Brown is their best pass catching running back, so he's the guy most likely to be in there.
Yeah, listen, it's one of these situations where you don't want to attack the, Buccaneers, with an opposing team's run game, but we only have 2 teams in play here. So looking at one of the Rams running backs is obviously not crazy at all. And Brown seems kind of game script proof. He's not the best of the bunch. He's not the shiftiest of the bunch, but they trust him the most. If the Rams get up big and they're running a ton, he's going to get some carries because we see they run a lot and all 3 of them are going to get carries. If the Rams are trailing and have to throw, I'm with you. He's their third down running back, their pass catching guy. Sense. Another guy kind of in the Gronk and Fournette mold that just fits price-wise, right? He's very affordable. And while I think you're right that everyone goes to Fournette, it's not crazy at all to think Brown outscores Fournette.
No, not at all. Because, again, if Tampa Bay gets a lead, Rojo, if he plays well, could, Fournette could only have 6 touches tonight if Ronald Jones is playing well. That's not impossible. And in that situation, if you believe Tampa Bay gets up, then I think it's, very highly possible Malcolm Brown outscores Leonard Fournette in that situation. And if that's how you think the game script goes, go for it. Another point that you bring up, or you asked me a lot about this, is there anybody in this game that you would be playing on a main slate? And quite frankly, the answer is no. There isn't anybody in this game I'd play on a main slate.
I agree.
So you're going to win ugly tonight. This is the kind of thing you usually like.
Yeah, I do like it. I just don't love this one in particular.
And that's fair because we firmly agree on the fact that, like, nobody makes me feel great about playing them tonight. There's not one guy on either team where I'm like, this dude's a lock for points. And when you feel like you're guessing 6 times, that's tough.
For sure.
All right. Last up, kickers. Kickers are a thing tonight, guys. I could absolutely see these offenses stalling out over and over again, like inside the 35-yard line. I'm not going to be surprised at all if Ryan Suckup kicks 4 field goals tonight. He's been really good. He's made 91% of his field goals this year. And the big thing is the Rams have had to mess around with the kicker position. So if you're trying to get a kicker, I'm looking at Suckup, no questions.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Like, Suckup's been very good. We don't even know who the Rams kicker is right now. They don't even know who it is right now. It looks like it's going to be Matt Gay, but who the hell knows? Suckup's been good. They trust him. We don't even know if Sean McVay's going to send whoever's kicking for the Rams out for long field goals. We know Suckup will get that chance. He just makes another guy that looks really good as a nice filler piece. He's not a guy you're like building around, but with everyone running to the skill positions, like, he makes sense in a game that should be defensive oriented.
So there's a lot of games, right, where you play kickers just because you need that last spot filled and you need somebody cheaper. Kickers, they just don't have the upside of a skill position guy, right? Like, a kicker is never going to catch 3 touchdowns. It's literally impossible. However, like, I'm not surprised at all if Suckup outscores like 3 of the 5 big wide receivers in this game.
I don't disagree with that.
I mean, the Rams shut you down. Tampa Bay is very good defensively as well. So I wouldn't be surprised by that this week. I think you expect a little more offense than I do, but I think we're both in the camp that we don't 100% know what to expect. And this could be one of those games where, like, 19-12 is the final score.
Agreed.
So it should be fun to watch from a real-life football perspective. It's probably not going to be the sexiest of all DFS slates.
This is true.
So any last-minute tidbits of wisdom to impart on the crowd here?
No, that's all I got, man. How about you?
No, not really. This is one where I do not expect to play too heavy on this one. I'll play because, well, we only got sports a couple nights a week right now, and I need my DFS fix. But I'm not sitting here being like, I gotta add money to my account today to bet on this one.
I'm with you 100%.
So good luck today, guys. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button and hop on those NFL and NBA packages if you'd like.
Thanks, guys.